Greetings, guys and girls. I'll tell you, with everything in life, there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. But there is also the excellent and the tragic. And so today I want us to look at a category, just the good and the bad. When it comes to hair systems, both those elements exist. Number one, the bad, it just sucks that you're watching this video, because if you are, it means you're probably without hair on your head. That's the bad. It sucks that you don't have hair to begin with. The good is that it does give you completely natural looking hair on your head again, which is super nice. And there's not anybody, like I said, that doesn't enjoy that. And so you've seen videos that I have done where I've been at the beach. I've been at the Texas coast. I've been at South Beach in Miami. Been in all those humidities environments. And so when I was last at South Beach, I did a video about how it'd been like day one, day two, day three, whatever, and I'd been in the ocean and been at the beach all day and how things had went well. Okay, so now here is a follow-up video for me to confess to you, it wasn't quite as perfect as that. After another couple of days and all of that, I looked at the front hairline and thought, nah, not so great. It had kind of, okay, first of all, let me show you what I've used to stick it on my head with. First of all, the glue that I use is this Walker Hard Bond right here. It is the way to go for me. I've tried Ghost Bond, I've tried tape, which if you want a good front hairline tape and it's exposed, nope, not so much, not gonna do it. And then scalp protector, you know, I've used this a lot. Then I most recently found this no sweat thing, because I've said that I'm in the humidity, sweat can sometimes be a problem, even though I'm not one to sweat profusely a lot at all, but my scalp is crazy oily, but I don't sweat a lot, just crazy oily. So I use this. So the good about this is it just feels good. The attachment feels good, your scalp feels good. Those are the good things. And it does help with the perspiration, and it helped with my oily scalp tremendously. Here is the one drawback that I have found, and if this is incorrect, somebody reach out to me and tell me. Super Hairpieces, reach out and tell me if that's the case here. But what I noticed is when it came up to the cleanup, which that's got to be fast for me. I am not ever in the mood to go in there and spend 30 minutes trying to clean up a hair system. I don't like it. This made cleanup harder, I think, because every time I used this, it seemed that the glue that was on my system was 3 times more difficult to get off the system. It didn't want to dissolve as much, whatever. And so I only use this when I know I'm going to be really out in a lot of heat and all of that. Then, no sting skin prep. The bomb. Fabulous. I love it. I love the way it makes my skin feel. It's like it gets things super cleaned up before I put the attachment on. It's just been a big winner to me. I don't know how to describe exactly all that it does, except it feels good, it works good, and I just super, super, super like that. Okay, so back to the beach. I get back and I look at the hairline, and that sucks. I'm stuck down here. We were only going to be there 5 days, so I didn't take anything to take care of a hair system at all. So I'm just going to have to comb this hair straight down and look like Mo the whole time we're here. All of a sudden it was like, Ghost Bond will do this if you get really hot, it'll turn white. But this Hard Bond does not do that. But for some reason, the system, the edge of it, looked kind of white. Well, there wasn't really a plan to make. I didn't have anything to work with. So I was just gonna have to deal with it. And I thought, I'm here, no one knows me. So, you know, if you can see my hairline, you can see my hairline, but it's gonna drive me insane. I'd gotten in the shower and it still looked that way. And I even put cold water on it, as cold as I could get on it to the front, to see if maybe that would help, you know, somewhat. It didn't. So we do that. I come home and don't pay much attention to my hair. I'm trying not to look at it, to tell you the truth. Ignorance is bliss, right? We go to bed, I get up the next morning, look at my hair, looks just fine. Looks good as new, looks brand new. Can't see the front edge, can't see the hairline, looks good, feels good. So there again, I guess maybe from all of that heat and all of that humidity, it just kind of had a reaction. But when it settled down, dried down, cooled off, it just stuck right back and looked just great. So if you get to a position to where you're like that and you say, oh boy, this isn't working very well, just kind of try to cool it off. I've even thought about, I'm going to get an ice cube and run across the front to get it cold to see if that'll help. And I kind of think it would. But I found out just give it, and I kind of feel like when I got home that night, it looked good then too. I just didn't look and tried to brush my teeth without looking at my hair. And so it all worked out fine. So what I had used on it was this no sting skin prep stuff. I had used the scalp protector and the Walker Hard Bond. Those were the only things I had used on it when we went down there. So I saw that, and if you see that little white front and something doesn't look exactly right after you've been out and it's gotten really hot, give it a little bit, give it the night, and I guarantee you it'll settle down and it'll be okay the next morning. Because had I been at home, my natural tendency would have been rip it off, redo it. And you've heard me say this, I don't mind that. I'm so fast at it and quick that it literally takes a little bit longer than brushing my teeth, but less than 10 minutes for sure. And so I really don't mind it. Doesn't take long. So in that's kind of the part that concerned me, was that I thought that, and whenever I got home that day, I could pull it up and it kind of lifted off. I thought I could just slick this off and nothing flat, because then especially that front edge, I'd comb it and it would go. You probably, if you had experience, you comb it and it's about time for a new attachment. You try to brush it back, it'll just peel it up a little. That's what's happening when I got home from the beach. I'm like, ugh. So I've learned, just stick it back down, leave it alone, give it a little time to settle down, and I think your experience will be the same as mine. It will calm right down and it'll be okay. So there's that. Secondly, I have a tendency to not be as careful as I should in the removal. And so I'm working with a little glue on the edge of this here that's a leftover spot. And so I don't know how many of them I put a little rip here or there in the side. And I'm always so mad at myself because I'm just not patient. As you've said, this gotta happen, it's gotta happen quick. So it's like, put this thing up here and going, ouch, okay, it's off and it's ripped. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it, but this one has a little bit of tape on it right there. Yeah, it's usually always at the back and sometimes on the side. So what I've done, and what I've done with this one, and I think there's a better way to do it, but this is what I had, so this is what I used. That's Scotch tape, literally. I put just a little piece on the rip, and then I put the hard bond over the rest of it, stick it on my head. I never know it's there, I never know it's ripped. It works just fine, just perfect. And quite honestly, this is the tape I put on last time. I'm just leaving it be, and I'm putting a little more glue over it and going for it again. So, worked. So, my bad. I need to be patient and slow down just a little bit. It's just that it seems slow is not in my nature. Patience is not so much in my nature. Don't talk to my wife about that. Anyway, all of those things considered, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is I got hair on my head. Feels natural, looks natural, the whole bit. And easy maintenance. My experience with that front hairline that I am so particular about, and if you wear an exposed hairline, you have to be picky about it. On its worst day, when it's day 7 and I need to really replace my system, and I can look at it and it's glaring to me, oh, there's the front of it. Not a single person walks up to me and is just staring at my hairline. Nobody. So it's a big deal to me, and but nobody really notices that. So that's all really, really good. And as far as somebody asked me today something about it, because I don't keep a secret that I do this, I feel like you know, if you're going to do it, own it. You know, don't try to go, oh, I wear a hair system, nobody can find out. Well, get over it. I told them about it. I said, honestly, literally, is it any trouble? Well, it's some trouble. You know, it doesn't just jump on my head by itself. It doesn't clean itself up by itself. But it's not anything that demands a ton amount of my time at all. And they say, how does it feel? I said, I know this is crazy looking, but after it's here, it feels like hair on my head, or at least from what I can remember. You know, I can run my fingers through it. My scalp feels that. It feels the hair moving around some weird sort of way. And so it feels like hair on my head. The wind blows and it blows in the wind, and you know, I brush it, wash it, shampoo it, just like you would if you had real hair. And they said, I just don't think I could. This guy was bald. He said, I just don't think I could do something that high maintenance. I said, you're not hearing me. It sounds it. And I'll confess, at first, it was pretty high maintenance. It took me an hour and a half or longer, you know, right at the very beginning. But then after I realized and took a breath and relaxed, okay, how hard could this be? I put glue on it. I lean over a mirror. I stick it on my head, flop it back, and press it down. Boom, I'm ready to go for 7 days. So no, not. I have had a blast doing this. I've had fun telling people about it. And here's what's really gratifying and satisfying. I would never in a million years think that that was not your hair, your real hair. I said, I know. Super Hairpieces does a great job with this. And I think I do a pretty good job getting it stuck on and styling it. And I've had lots of responses from people saying, hey, can I drive up? That got one said, hey, I'm a Texas neighbor, Texan here, born and raised, and people wanting to come and get me to cut it, which, you know, I love doing that. But okay, so there you go. Front edge, if it gets jacked up, give it a minute before you jerk it off, because I guarantee you 95, 98% of the time, it's gonna lay back down, it's gonna reattach, and you're gonna be good to go for another few days. So until next time, guys, this is Rick. Peace out. Have a good one. Life is good.